TC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. Over on total for the daily, we did make a little bit of a bounce, but it's not that strong. Again, just watch out because we are starting to make consolidation after a slight push down, which could make a mini bear flag to reject this support level. Our VWAP is attempting to make a higher low though, attempting to push that momentum forward, and we do have a green dot. So if we can continue bullish momentum tomorrow, then we could make this a higher low and continue forward. If we look here at the 1 hour, it does look like we did try to make a little bit of a rising channel. Would watch out though, because this may be a rising wedge. A rising wedge is when you have slopes kind of like this. Sometimes your points can extend way out. Usually I don't end up connecting them because sometimes on lower time frames they can extend very wide, but you measure from the top to the bottom and that would give you your breakdown point, because a rising wedge is just like a rising channel. It sounds good, but it's not. So that being said, we did make a third touch to the bottom after getting a third touch to the top, so we could try to invalidate this, but some of these wedges and triangle patterns tend to try and go toward the peak. So I would just watch. We could pump up over the next day and then maybe reject after that. Our VWAP does have a higher low though. Momentum is pushing forward and that money flow is in the red, but if that VWAP can cross that neutral, we could gain some strength, getting higher lows with higher highs. So we do have a slight bullish trend trying to form here, so that is pretty positive, providing that can hold over the next couple days. Hopefully it's not just a trend for tomorrow and then it crashes the day after. Over on Bitcoin futures, very similar, where we have an indecision candle. VWAP is coming back down, momentum does want to break forward, and our money flow is trying to push up, so that does look positive. But again, if we look at the 1 hour, we were in a bit of a bearish trend that did try to bring us down, but it was unsuccessful. We can see if we have the same wedge going on here, so if we connect our tops and connect our bottoms, you could call that a bit of a rising triangle or a wedge, kind of depends on how you want to look at it. If we go based on correcting this and getting just the candle tops, then it's a rising triangle. But if you include the candle wicks, then you could have a wedge. So the triangle would be a bullish scenario that would attempt to push us toward our value area high that we said we need to flip if we're going to continue and run up to our 100K range. Our VWAP is trying to push down after getting a higher high, so watch if we can bounce off neutral. If we bounce off the neutral here, momentum will remain bullish, money flow will break into the green, and we could solidify those higher time frames and push forward. Again, I would just watch out for a push forward tomorrow and then a retracement the next day. So if the push forward is just like crazy and we get big green candle, I'd watch out for a big red candle the next day. Over on graph for the daily, it does look like we are very indecisive here as well, trying to break that support level, but not really gaining much momentum. Our stochastic is pulling back, RSI is weakening, VWAP is in the bearish territory, momentum is dropping away with a red dot, and that money flow is in the red as a result. So I would watch that VWAP close on our lower time frames. We want that to break into a bullish trend to push us forward. If we look here at the 1 hour, I'm not sure when altcoin season's going to start right now. Abolish or no one really is. And right now the market's just going down overall. It's not seeing much bullish momentum. We need to break those resistance areas we've been looking at if we're going to consider any kind of potential for a bull market. Our stochastic does want to pull back. VWAP is pushing down, momentum is rounding away, and that money flow is in the red on the 1 hour. So again, I would watch very close. This does look a little more on the bearish side, but if total were to pump up, it's likely graph would follow. Over on XRP for the daily, we do have that same indecision going here as well. Now a green candle, it's a red candle. So again, we want to see if we make a higher low here, followed by a push forward. If we just push up and then we reject the next day, again, that's going to set us up for a further push to the downside. Our stochastic is starting to pull back. RSI is weakening. VWAP does want to break that neutral, so watch out as that momentum has a red dot signaling it does want to pull back, which would keep the money flow in the red and continue to push us down like that MPP projects. Our MPP does have the projection of that $1.80 and then right around that golden pocket, right around that $1.20. So two major areas I would watch out for if we do end up breaking away here. If we look at the 1 hour, our MPP is trying to project a pump up, but is a higher probability that we reject where we are right now. So again, We need this higher low to push with a higher high afterwards, otherwise bears are going to have control, and this is a bit of consolidation here after a push down that could create a bear flag to push us to that previous support area, which lines up right around that $1.90, $1.80 range. Our stochastic is pushing down. RSI is starting to round, so watch that stochastic. If it continues lower, it will bring RSI and price lower, but is trying to make a curl. So if that blue crosses above the orange, we could see bulls gain some strength. Now, VWAP does have a higher low. We need to follow this with a higher high in order to kick off a bullish trend as well. If we see that VWAP break with a higher high, momentum could continue forward, money flow would break into the green, and higher time frames would be able to push forward. But if that VWAP continues to favor bearish, we're likely going to continue lower. Over on Anchor for the daily, we do have the MPP projection that we could blast off. I don't think that's very probable. Just like XRP, it kind of cracked down and said we're going to shoot for the moon, and nothing really happened. But we also have the projection that we could break our Fibonacci level, so I would watch that very closely. Stochastic does want to push up. RSI is pretty flat. VWAP is bouncing off that neutral, so watch for it to follow with consistent or higher highs. If that VWAP stays bullishly here, momentum will break through, money flow will gain strength, and we will continue to pump forward. But there is a high chance of rejecting here according to the MPP. There's a 50% chance of having a lower high, which again, if we have lower highs, could give us lower lows and further bearish push. We need higher highs and higher lows in the next couple days, otherwise things do look a little more on the dusty side for me. Over on the 1 hour, the positive thing is we have a gap to the upside, but the negative is if that gap fills and then we reject, I would watch for further downside. So watch that very closely. Gaps do have an 80% likelihood to fill, and Anchor loves making gaps. Our stochastic is starting to pull away. Momentum is dropping away. That VWAP is favoring bearish, so that's a little concerning, bringing money flow back into the bearish territory. If that VWAP does not reverse into a bullish trend over the next couple days, it's likely we're going to continue to bleed down, possibly toward that 1641. There is about a 60% chance of that happening with this rejection, this kind of curl that we saw over the last 4 hours. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like and subscribe and join us in that Discord.